Good morning. Good morning, Oliver. How did you sleep tonight? Last night? Everything well, I hope? And, you... Stina? Leah Boymans, how are you, settling in? Everything to your satisfaction, I hope? So, I thought that perhaps today we'd take... Yes, I see you are eager to get outside, Oliver. That's very good. So, I thought that we'd go out and... you can see how restless Oliver is. I thought we'd go out and have a small walk down to the governor's mansion and perhaps see if he's home and has something interesting to say. Perhaps we can have a short chat with him. So, yes, you think that's a marvelous idea, so do I. So let's go. You two, Oliver, come along. Now I see that we are all here. Also Camilla Poe. So let's go. Now, yeah, we have governor's mansion, and why don't you three, just wait outside here while I go inside and talk to the governor. So, yes, just wait here. Probably won't be too long. Oh. There we have Jean de Vever.
Captain, I trust you find everything to your liking.
Of course. Oh, that's very interesting. Well, let's go outside. Now, there you are. I've just had an interesting chat with the governor of this fine town, and he had the most peculiar request. He asked me if I had an opinion on the pirate games on the latest Steam Next Fest. Yes, I see the questions in your faces. Why would someone in 1750 be worried about a Steam Next Fest? I mean, doesn't seem very likely, does it? But that was what I was requested, so I guess we'll have to head back to the ship and fire up the good old steam engine, eh? So let's go. So here we are in the captain's cabin. I see Camilla Poe is too busy to join us, but never mind. We three will put our minds to the task that we were requested by the governor. So let's have at it. Now, this is a pirate review of pirate games from the February 2023 Steam Next Fest. And as such, the main focus is not on the gameplay, the story, music or whatnot, but on the pirates in the game and how they are presented. And when using the word pirates, I don't mean the dictionary definition of the word pirate or the word piracy, but rather the romanticized image of pirates that has been created by books, movies and games over the last several hundred years. If I want to play a pirate game, I have expectations as to the way the pirates in the game look, the time period the game is set in, and the types of places that appear in the game and what the pirates are doing. So, in a pirate review, I evaluate how well what I review matches up to those expectations, and if they break them, how well that is done. And with that out of the way, onto the games. This Steam Next Fest had 6 games matching the Pirates tag, of which one was a current-day FMV game that I did not look at. And there was also one relevant game with pirates in it that was missing the pirates tag that I also did test, so giving a total of 6 games. First on the list is Corsair's Madness, which is a platformer where you play as a pirate. It's a pixel graphics game where you jump, dash, and use various tools in order to save your crew members after being stranded on a mysterious island after a storm. I did not play through the entire demo, but there appears to be 3 main gameplay types: platforming, side-scrolling, shooting in a boat, and boss battles, with a boat used to travel between different islands. The aesthetic fits with the pirate team. The main character uses a sword, gun, and cannons. He's stranded on an island with treasure chests, traps, and various dangerous creatures. The biggest problem is perhaps the main character, which is supposed to be a pirate captain, but looks more like a common sailor in a striped shirt. A more imposing look with a dark coat or something similar would have been appreciated. Now, I did not play far enough to be able to rescue any of his teammates, but hopefully they look sufficiently piratey and unique. Overall, looks like it could become an entertaining pirate-themed platformer. That was close. Just stand here and wait for them all to come to me. That was the last one. Ah, right. And now we managed to get to this level. Next, Unforgettable Voyage, pirate-themed puzzle game. This game successfully satisfies the expectations of the pirate aesthetic using pixel graphics. A bearded captain with an eye patch, a main character with a blue cloak, references to Treasure Island, treasure maps, and islands with treasure chests. The gameplay is based on moving blocks and activating triggers. Puzzles are sufficiently entertaining and start out not being too difficult. I did not play through the entire demo, but gameplay likely gets more difficult as it proceeds with multiple characters and boss fights. Seems promising and might be an entertaining pirate-themed puzzle game. Okay, so that stopped the blades. Let's see if I can't go up here now. I can, so then we can perhaps get this crate down there. Okay, and then we can go back here. And let's see if we can push this crate. Ta-da! Then we have got quite a lot of the stuff. Okay, so that requires a key, perhaps. That's what that means. Then we have Tide of Thieves, our ship-based shooting game with cartoon graphics. We will control a pirate ship and fire the ship's cannons at enemy ships, mounted cannons, and other enemies. Skulls, doubloons, sharks, and giant octopi. The enemies and gameplay elements match what would be expected from a pirate game. The ship and the characters look sufficiently piratey. And the biggest oddity is perhaps the Jolly Roger found in the opening screen and on the pirate ship. It looks somewhat unusual, but it is perhaps an attempt at matching the cartoony graphics of the other elements in the game. Overall, if the gameplay looks fun, the pirate theme can perhaps be thought of as a bonus. Try to go in here then. And I assume we should try to avoid these spikes. to have a fixed pattern, so hopefully that's not too difficult. Can we go between them, perhaps? Try that. Just sneak in here. Don't mind me. There we are. Let's get away. And repair crate. Now we are at full health. Very well. Cannons. And then we have Pirates of Pangea, Land and Sea Survival. As the name indicates, this is a survival game. So much of the gameplay will likely consist of resource gathering and building. The setting does not appear to be the historical age of piracy, but rather an original setting based in the Bermuda Triangle. I was not able to get far in the demo, but from the promo material for the game, it appears that the game has pirates and that there are gameplay elements that match those of our piracy settings, such as shipbuilding, ship battles, sword and pistol battles, treasure hunting, and so on. The aesthetic does not appear to exactly match that of pirates from popular fiction to the same extent as, for example, Unforgettable Voyage, but cosmetic options might, of course, increase in the final game. Overall, it looks somewhat similar to Atlas, for those who are familiar with that title, and maybe it will end up an interesting sandbox experience. We will have to see how it develops. Let's try to continue our banana gathering. Banana. What's this? Chicken? Oh, here we have treasure chest, stone key. Okay, having stone keys, I think. No, just continue running around here. See what else we can find. Uncharted Waters Origin. While it is currently missing a pirates tag in Steam, this game has pirates galore. It is not a pirate game per se, but rather a game that has pirates as enemies, and one of the playable characters is also a pirate, another a privateer. This is an MMO sailing game with a large world, and it has trading, exploring, shipbuilding, fighting, fishing, and so on. The game is the latest iteration of Uncharted Waters, or Age of Exploration, with the original game having been released by Koei for the Nintendo in 1990. The original was a single-player game, with later titles having been both single-player games and MMOs. Uncharted Waters Origin has apparently been available in Korea since last year, and is now getting a global release. The in-game character graphics are relatively simple, but are combined with great-looking character images in narrative and story parts of the game. Set in the 16th century, the game appears to successfully capture a romanticized ideal of this time period, with sailing ships, pirates, wars between major European nations, and many famous historical characters. I really like the way this game looks. The main pirate character does not exactly look like Captain Flint, but has a relevant backstory, and the original pirate enemies fit the pirate aesthetic well enough. I will definitely be checking this game out when it releases, but as an MMO, it comes with all the potential problems of this type of game. when it comes to game progression, multiple in-game currencies and balancing and so on. So personally I prefer games with a one-time payment, while MMOs are typically either subscription-based or free-to-play. So I guess we'll have to see how it ends up, but it certainly looks interesting so far. Okay, so Admiral appointment. Let's see what we have here. So we have Joao Franco, Royal Explorer, a young noble of Portugal, a kind man who plays the lute for anyone but secretly dreams of a life filled with adventure. One day he set out to sea to find the kingdom of Presta John under the orders of his father, to carry out the Franco family's will. Okay, so Portugal. And we have Catalina Eranzo. So, pirate of Espana, a daring and skilled individual who was appointed as a naval officer at the age of 18. After her brother and fiancé lost their lives to an attack by a mysterious fleet, she abandoned her military status to become a pirate. Very good. We have Ali Vesas, Ottoman trader, merchant of the Ottoman Empire. Although he was an orphan who lived in poverty at an early age, he grew up to have a strong sense of independence, courage and intelligence. After obtaining a merchant ship by chance, he sets out to sea with ambitions of becoming a billionaire. We have Otto Baines, privateer, Knight of England, an earnest and loyal individual who is respected by the public as an example for all might. He intends to become a privateer and form a powerful fleet that can rival the Espanol Armada and the secret orders from Henry VIII, the King of England. Very good. We have Ernst van Boer, geography professor of the Netherlands. Tired of the monotony of academic life, he began to dream of becoming a man of the seas and living a life of adventure. He finally makes a deal with his close friend Mercator and sets sail to draw the perfect world map. Okay, so we have one pirate and one privateer. So, and some other people. Let's go for the pirate. Do you want to select this admiral? Yes. So, combat focus, adventure, trade, combat. So we are pirates, of course we'll take combat. Corsair's Legacy, pirate action RPG and sea battles. The observant viewer might suspect that I would find Corsair's Legacy interesting. And the observant viewer would be correct. Promising a historical pirate life simulator with both land and sea gameplay, this game looks very similar to the New Horizons mod, and it is set in the Caribbean during the 17th century. The demo appears to contain only ship battles, with the gameplay not being too dissimilar to the mod. The ships and gameplay look good. Hopefully the rest of the world will be the same, with the possibility to trade peacefully, ally with different nations, or to go full on as a pirate. So there are exciting times ahead. If the developers manage to make a game that lives up to the expectations, I will definitely be getting this one. Okay, so 3 ships this time. We can manage to get between 2 of them. 2 broadsides. Yeah.
Open fire!
Then take this one.
Fire!
Let's try to ram this one. Okay, that's my friend. That's not a good idea.
Slow down the ship!
Yeah.
Roll the sails!
Now we have a
Starboard cannons are ready to fire!
good point. None of them are extremely damaged, but try to stay on this one for now.
Starboard is ready to fire!
Okay, this one.
Let's go! Move! Fire!
Yes, and that was the last one. Quite good day's work, I think. Which was my dream, I hope. So, Oliver, which one was your favorite? Nothing you don't want to say? Little bit shy. That's okay. But there were quite a few promising titles there, and well, should they turn out to be disappointments, well, we always have the mod, so the world goes on. But what say you? You worked the whole day, and it's evening. What say you, Leah? Should we take a trip into the town and visit the tavern, perhaps? You can see Oliver is eager to stretch his legs a little bit, so yes, you would like to go? Marvelous. Well, then I say let's go. And